Well, hello, my friends. Welcome to Breakfast with Sergio. Today, we're going to talk about the exhibition Surface Tension that we have right now up on Artsy at 33 Contemporary Gallery. And with me, I have the artist Mark Heine, who is going to tell us all about the work, all about the show. So don't go anywhere. It's going to be a great conversation. Well, hi, Mark. Good to see you today. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. Glad to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us here. We are doing this through Zoom right now, having this conversation. I'm in Chicago. Where are you at? Where are you joining us from?
I'm on the very far outer fringes of Western Canada. As a matter of fact, I'm off the continent. I live on Vancouver Island, which is about 30 miles, I guess, from Vancouver. So
Really?
out in the middle of the Pacific right now. It's a big island, though. It feels like something solid.
But yeah. Have you been there for a long time?
I guess I moved out here with my family when I was about 8 or 9 years old. So I was originally born on the prairies in Canada, but the family moved out to the West Coast. So I've been out here for pretty much most of my life. Yeah.
For a good chunk of life. Okay, that's pretty good.
The majority.
You know your territory pretty well right now.
That's right.
Well, Mark, I'm very excited to chat with you because right now we have on view at 33 Contemporary an exclusive show through Artsy that's called Surface Tension, and it's a whole collection of your paintings, which I cannot wait to start talking to you about. It's a really beautiful exhibition, and we're going to invite our friends to check it out. And Surface Tension is a collection of paintings which I'm going to do my best to do my own observations and description of what I see, and then of course in the conversation with you, you're gonna take us in some direction. But it's a collection of paintings that are beautifully made, and they all depict a figure that seems to be submerging underwater or about to resurface from the water. Some of them kind of seem to be going down, others seem to go up, others seem to be like floating in the water, inside of a body of water. They have also kind of like ethereal, celestial qualities to it. Even the lighting that you have in some of them, it reminds me of like this like deep sea documentaries that you see, where there's like very low light. So they have like this mysterious also quality to them where, it's like sort of underwater, but you're not sure exactly where in the water, right? It's not like just happened. And some of them you may see a little bit of the surface of the water on the top, but they all kind of featured this figure. Mostly it's a female figure, and kind of in this thing. Now, something that I also love about the painting is that the figure is fully clothed. So also the clothing creating naturally as it submerges under the water, it becomes almost like weightless, right?
Yes, there's a whole suspension of gravity kind of thing, and you get the fabric, and the fabrics actually were chosen specifically for their how they work underwater, for their flow characteristics. Yeah. My wife is a costume designer. And she's also a professional editor. She does a little bit of both kind of thing, mostly editing, but she does costumes for theater and for TV. And so she knows what the feel of the fabric has to be like to build these costumes we make for our models when we take them out. And I always shoot in natural settings with natural light. So none of the lighting is contrived, which can be a problem because you have to, again, we live in Canada. So to get the models out into the water in Canada, you have about 1 month of the year that you can do that before it's too cold. Yeah. And you also have to, find a day when the sun is out and a beach that faces in the right direction so that, the lighting is coming from the right source. So it's a bit of a challenge. As a matter of fact, we had a photo shoot arranged for this past summer. In 2019, and we had to cancel it because they had all the big forest fires in California, and the smoke came up and blanketed Vancouver Island, and so everything was kind of brown and yellow, and it might have been an interesting photograph, series, but it would just be a little hard on the models to not have the sunshine to keep them warm, you know.
Right.
We don't want blue sirens, you know that.
So let's go a little bit in depth into the word. Tell us a little bit about surface tension. Like, what is the premise of the show, the main idea that you are working with in this particular exhibition?
Well, the paintings are key moments. Their visualizations of key moments from a book that I've written, that I've been working on for 7 years now, and we're on our fifth complete edit. And like I said, my wife is an editor, so that comes in handy. I don't think I'd have done 5 edits if I had to pay an editor to do it. So that the images are all the key moments in the coming manuscript, and the manuscript is a story that is written for a young adult audience, and it's kind of a magical realism genre, and what it does is it I'm trying to give the world's oceans a voice. Like we look out from the beach and we see this vast open expanse of water, and we have no idea what's going underneath it, and there's an entire ecosystem sitting there. And so I've tried to visualize a kind of a society that exists below the surface, and my main objective is to give the ocean and the creatures in the ocean a personality. Okay. The idea being that with young people, if they can engage and find the story interesting and start to maybe think a little bit differently about how we treat the environment and how we treat the ocean, because this is all stuff that ultimately we depend on, and the thing about the ocean is it's completely lawless. There's no one out there regulating who's taking what and who's dumping what, and so we abuse the environment. And I got the idea originally because my youngest daughter, Sarah, who is my primary model in the Siren series, she when she was young, she really loved to read Harry Potter and the Hunger Games and all those series of magical realism, because young people, I think they're looking for an escape, and the magical realism allows them to kind of almost be on the inside of the club that knows about this world that exists in our parallel reality, and she got really interested in the book. She got to know everything about vampires and werewolves and wizards and things. So my thinking was, if I can get them through an interesting story, a fictional story, engaged with more about sustainability and environmental stewardship. So take some of that interest that they have and try and create a reaction that is a positive thing, instead of knowing everything there is to know about werewolves and vampires. If you can learn a little bit about nature and the environment, because we all know that global warming is a problem, and we're all bombarded with these numbers about how we have to keep it below 2 degrees over the next 30 years, and I think people are, like the coronavirus, we're pretty tired of it, right? So to approach it from a different direction, where instead of approaching it from the science background and the brain, to capture more of the heart and the interest through the emotion of it, and hopefully that will be a fresh approach that can get them interested.
I love that. Yeah, I love that point of view and the way of approaching it. Let's talk a little bit about how the figure also, which is really interests me on these paintings, how the role of the figure within, now as you explained, the water and the oceans, and when I think of us as human beings, right? When we go in the ocean, in the body of water, it's not our natural habitat, right? Because we live outside of the water. Going in, first of all, we run out of air quickly, so it's a time limit unless you have oxygen that you can breathe for a longer time. But it feels like it's almost like an exploration, almost like an outer space in a way, but within Earth, right? Instead of going up, you go down in the water into another dimension in a way. So when I see these paintings, and I see the figure now engaged in that process of going from this world into
crossing over.
Yeah, exactly, the crossover. And in some of the paintings, there seems to be like the figure is at ease, and in some of the paintings seems to be like a struggle or also an uneasiness of that. So tell me a little bit about how do you play with the figure, within these ideas that we're talking about.
Well, it's interesting when you mention that you like the fact that the figures are fully clothed. That actually scares a lot of people. Yeah. Because normally when we see photographs of people in the water, they're wearing a swimming suit, which means they're relaxing and, basically having fun.
Right.
But when you see a fully clothed figure in water, people have these very visceral reactions to it. Some people, and it all depends on your comfort level with the medium, with water. Right. If you had some experience, or maybe you never were a good swimmer, or had a near drowning experience, and I've had several when I was a kid, and then you get people that are really at ease in water, that are real, swim nuts that go swimming all the time, and they look at the paintings and they're very much at ease, but they still find it interesting. So I get a reaction pretty much from everybody that looks, and sometimes it's negative, sometimes it's positive, but at least it's a reaction. Right?
Yeah. And that's why I like the paintings, because it's not very easy to figure out which of the two. There's like that tension, even with the title. There's even that tension of trying to figure it out. Is he having a good time, or is he drowning? Right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's part of the story, is that we've got these two separate worlds, and like you say, we can't enter the underwater world, but at the same time, the creatures in the ocean have about the same amount of survivability on the land.
Right.
So it's these two worlds, and that is the essence of a magical realism story. These two worlds that exist side by side, but neither one can interact because we just physically can't do it. And so for the story, I needed a character that could make a transition between a mythological character that could make a transition between ocean dwelling and land dwelling species. And so I chose the siren because of the physical similarity to human beings, that they can get away with intermingling with our society without drawing attention. And then also the other thing that a siren is most famous for is the siren voice. And and it's the traditional Homer view of sirens is femme fatale that sit on the rocks and lure sailors to their death, which I my version of the siren is totally different. And it's interesting because I had to write for the storyline, I had to write a little Greek myth that dispelled Homer's view of the siren. Okay. But the actual character, the mythological character of Siren, predates Homer's Odyssey by about 5,000 years. Wow. Because they found on ancient tombs depictions of sirens, sometimes with wings, that were obviously meant as something different. It had a different mythological rationale to be carved on the tomb. So I think for Homer's interpretation, it was a very handy view to have for the storyline. But I don't think that and of course now that's painted the siren character as an evil character. And in the book I have about 4 or 5 sirens, and some of them turn out to be a little bit evil. One of them in particular. So that's the story. There's intrigue involved and deception and romance and the whole thing that is hopefully interesting enough for a young person to engage in the story and the underlying message of environmental stewardship and the distress that we're causing to the environment is I'm trying to play a fine line to not clobber people over the head with the whole tree hugging kind of thing, So that's what my wife is for. She's the editor, and she reads on behalf of the reader. And protects their rights. So whenever I get a little bit preachy, she's like, "Oh no, we gotta back that up a little bit."
Down. Very interesting indeed. And Mark, believe it or not, we have run out of time already. We had a great conversation, and some of our friends would love to go check out the show. First, if you can share also with our friends your website and your Instagram for those friends who might want to reach out to you on Instagram or connect with you.
My website is www.mheine.com, and my Instagram name is Mark David Heine. I believe that's my address. I haven't got it in my hand actually.
Okay. We'll make sure it's correct in the show.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, we want to invite our friends to come and check out the exhibition. It is online right now on Artsy through Territory Contemporary Gallery. Which
I appreciate very much. Thank you again for that.
Thank you. No, thank you for sharing your work. It's our pleasure. So come and check it out. If you go to artsy.net, you can use there in the search, you can search for Territory Contemporary Gallery, and then there's a section for shows. You will see the show right there. The show runs from January 1st to January 31st. However, because it's an online exclusive, it will stay online as well. So even if you watch this video or heard this podcast way after January 31st, the show is still up there. So make sure you come and check it out. And, these works are available through Territory Contemporary. So thank you, Mark, for your time.
Thanks,
and for sharing light into your work. We really appreciate it. And thank you to our friends for watching as well. If you enjoyed this episode, this conversation, do us a favor and please share it with all your friends. So thanks, Mark. Have a great day.
Thanks, Sergio. Take care.